morning, everyone. Welcome to the regular session of the Yuma County Board of Supervisors. We'll be sitting as all special taxing districts today too. And this is the September the 4th, 2019. It's 9 a.m. Board members will attend either in person or by telephone. We have Supervisor Simmons by phone and Supervisor Porchas excused himself, called in. First item in the agenda is call to order, and then we have the Pledge of Allegiance. Supervisor McLeod, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure, thank you. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gracias. Thank you. The first item in the agenda is call to the public. Call to the public is held for the public benefit to allow individuals to address issues within the board's jurisdiction. Board members may not discuss items that are not specifically identified on the agenda. Therefore, pursuant to Arizona revised statutes, action taken as a result of the public comment section will be limited to directing staff to study the matter, responding to criticism, or scheduling the matter for further discussion or a decision at a future date. Is there anyone in the public that wants to address the board on an item that isn't in the agenda? ¿Hay alguien en el público? Is there anyone in the public? If not, then I'll move on to another item, which is presentation, proclamations, and appointments. And during this segment of the agenda, board members may discuss the presentations and proclamations and may announce appointments to the Yuma County Planning and Zoning Commission and the Yuma County Board of Adjustment. No legal action will be taken. I have purposely left the call to the public open in case we, further along need to go back and address some issue that, wasn't present at the beginning of the meeting. The first item on presentation, proclamations, and appointment is the presentation of the county line by Yuma 77, the Yuma County Government Channel.
Does it seem too soon to consider getting a flu shot? It's not. A young student's hard work is recognized by Congress and is awarded a Silver Star. And we need to continue protecting ourselves from mosquitoes as the summer heat is still present. These stories and more, this is your County Line. Schools are back in session and flu season is just around the corner. It's a good time to consider getting a flu shot. There's always a lot of talk in the air about the right time to get your shot. You have to consider the flu shot is a virus that is injected, and the virus that's injected takes some time to help you build up immunity. So just because you get a flu shot on Monday doesn't mean you're protected on Tuesday. Public health officials here say the flu vaccine will be available by the end of the month, and getting the shot sooner rather than later is the best medicine.
With flu season approaching, we want everybody to be vaccinated, and we encourage everyone to get it as soon as possible. It takes about 2 weeks to become protected, so the sooner you get it, the sooner you'll be protected.
You can help others by protecting yourself from the flu and its effects. Just like Mom told you, always cover your cough. Wash your hands thoroughly, and if you feel sick, please stay home. This way you keep the virus from spreading. Remember, it takes a full 2 weeks after getting the shot to be fully immune. If you need more information about flu shots, you can contact the health department at 317-4559. We spend the majority of County Lines talking about county government in an effort to keep you informed of what's going on during your busy life. But a different story today. It focuses on an individual whose hard work has gleaned silver recognition from Congress. 16-year-old Garvey Blackwell recently received a visit from an unlikely person. Representative Paul Gosar visited to present Garvey with the silver medal from the Congressional Award Foundation. The Congressional Award is about challenge. Young people set goals in the areas of voluntary public service, personal development, physical fitness, and expedition and exploration.
This is an award that you can start when you turn 13 and a half years old, and you have to be done whatever level you try to attain by 24. This young lady has almost got the qualifications of a gold medal, and she's done it by the time she's 15. She just turned 16.
A young person has to register and spends hundreds of hours to complete their goals.
It helps you a lot in your personal life about setting goals and being able to do your time management and setting your goals and achieving those goals.
We wish Garvey Blackwell good luck as she closes in on her gold medal and congratulate her on her hard work. If you're interested in this same program for your kids, just point your browser to congressionalaward.org. We know most people are ready for the temperatures to drop back to more reasonable levels. And while that should start happening relatively soon, you still want to be sure to protect yourself from mosquitoes when going outside. Crews from your county's health district are always collecting mosquito samples from all over the county. By collecting samples, our experts can better tell where mosquito populations are thriving and detect if certain mosquitoes are in the area. Our experts have detected St. Louis encephalitis and West Nile virus in mosquitoes captured in Yuma County. Fortunately for us, there's been no locally acquired case of either of these diseases.
As it's cooling off, people are going to go outside more. They need to know those viruses are present here in our community, and they need to take precautions such as long sleeves, lightweight long sleeves, pants, and also wear an EPA-approved repellent.
Remember, early mornings and dusk are critical times for mosquito contact. This is when they're most active. For more information, visit yumacountyaz.gov and locate the Health District under the Government tab. We know you've heard it many times about emergencies. Have a plan. Plan for you, your family, animals, home. What many folks don't realize is your county government does the same thing. A continuity of operations plan, or COOP for short, is how your county government prepares for a worst-case scenario.
I think it's very important for all departments and offices to develop these plans beforehand in order to be able to go to those plans when they encounter that incident, to develop those relationships, to identify those locations they're able to go to ensure that the infrastructure is there for hooking up to the county network, making sure those other departments or other facilities are aware that we're going to come to them.
Recently, all the departments and agencies sat down with emergency management officials to talk about the critical functions of each office and how to keep those critical functions operational when the unexpected hits locally. It won't take long for you to make one for you and your family, but it will save you tons of time in an emergency when it's needed. Need help? Just navigate to yumacountyaz.gov and locate the Emergency Management page under Government. Hi, I'm Tricia, and this is your Health Watch. September 23rd is the annual Falls Prevention Awareness Day. Many people think falls are a normal part of aging. The truth is, they're not. Falls present a real and growing risk to older adults' health and independence. Most falls are preventable, so take control of your health and stay safe with these 6 steps to fall prevention. 1. Find a good balance and exercise program. Look to build balance, strength, and flexibility. 2. Talk to your healthcare provider. Ask for an assessment of your risks of falling. Share your history of recent falls. 3. Regularly review your medication with your doctor or pharmacist. Make sure side effects aren't increasing your risk of falling. Take medications only as prescribed. 4. Get your vision and hearing checked annually and update your eyeglasses. Your eyes and ears are key to keeping you on your feet. 5. Keep your home safe. Remove tripping hazards, increase lighting, make stairs safe, and install grab bars in key areas. 6. Talk to your family members. Enlist their support in taking simple steps to stay safe. If you think you're at risk, bring it up with your doctor, family, and anyone else who is in a position to help. If you know someone you believe is at risk of falling, let them know your concerns and offer support to help them maintain the highest degree of independence possible. For more information on preventing falls, please visit us at azstopfalls.org or contact Laura at 928-317-4580. Before we go, there's a very special job and education fair on the horizon for you or anyone you know who's searching for a job. Arizona at Work Yuma County is working with numerous partnering agencies to make it easy. The 2019 Community Job and Education Fair is set to happen on October 2nd at the Yuma Civic and Convention Center. So mark your calendar, you have time to fine-tune your resume and be ready for the job fair. Last year, there were 120 different vendors. It's an amazing opportunity for you to secure that job you've been searching for. We'd like to thank you for joining us for this County Line. If you'd like to watch past episodes, log on to yumacountyaz.gov/VOD. And don't forget, you can join us live on Facebook. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, and with us, we have Sarah Wisdom in person, and I keep waiting for her to do that Vulcan, salute, but I guess nobody tell you got to practice that. Anyway, thank you very much. That was very informative. The next item in the agenda is proclamation sections, and I'm going to ask Ms. Supervisor Pancrase to read the first proclamation, which is the proclamation proclaiming September 4th, 2019 as William Billy Orta Appreciation Day.
Thank you. Proclaiming the day of September 4th, 2019 as William Billy Orta Appreciation Day. Whereas William Billy Orta was born in the city of Yuma, Yuma County, and this native son is now celebrating his 80th year. And whereas William Orta married Jessie Mendez and became a master mason and founded Orta Lath Company, and whereas Billy Orta, known to all as Coach Billy, was inducted into the Arizona Boxing Hall of Fame for his lifetime achievement of involvement in the sports since his first bout in 1951 in Yuma. And whereas when his boxing career ended, Billy continued his involvement in boxing as a generous, tenacious mentor and coach to multiple generations of Yuma County youngsters through boxing. And as the volunteer head coach of the Yuma County Youth Boxing Association Incorporated, a nonprofit organization, during its activities through much of the 2000s. And whereas the sport of boxing is about beating the odds and triumphing in an exciting sports area where an ordinary person can be lifted to superstardom. And whereas Billy Orta helped many youth reach their dreams through his work with the Yuma County Youth Boxing Association. Now therefore I, Marco A. Tony Reyes, Chairman of the Yuma County Board of Supervisors, hereby proclaims the day of September 4th, 2019 to be William Billy Orta Appreciation Day.
Are members of the Orta family here to receive the proclamation? Please step up.
Yes.
You're fine?
Yes, it just took me.
They wanted to address the board.
You wanted to address the
No,
board?
I'm good. I'm good.
Come on up,
You can
guys.
do it afterwards, it's fine. Come on.
Come on up.
Come up to the middle.
Yeah. There you go. You don't accept if you don't get your questions to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, well, congratulations.
Thank
okay?
you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you did have a speech written up or anything?
No. She said it all.
Well, thank you very much for showing up and congratulations. I'm going to move item 3 and 4 to the end of the proclamation section because I'm going to put those two together and give them to the same person. So I'm going to ask Supervisor McLeod to issue the proclamation proclaiming the month of September 2019 as Yuma County Preparedness Month.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Proclamation proclaiming the month of September 2019 as Yuma County Preparedness Month. Whereas Yuma County Preparedness Month creates an important opportunity for every resident of Yuma County to prepare their homes and communities for any type of emergency including natural disasters, man-made disasters, and potential terrorist attacks. And whereas investing in preparedness activities can reduce fatalities and economic devastation in our communities and our nation. And whereas the Federal Emergency Management Agency's READY campaign, Citizen Corps, and other federal, state, local, tribal, territorial, private, and volunteer agencies are working together to prepare for emergencies and educate individuals on how to take action. And whereas all residents of Yuma County are encouraged to participate in citizen preparedness activities and asked to review the READY campaign's website at ready.gov or listo.gov in Spanish and become more prepared. Now, therefore, Marco A. Tony Reyes, Chairman of the Yuma County Board of Supervisors, hereby proclaims the month of September 2019 to be Yuma County Preparedness Month and encourage all residents and businesses to develop their own emergency plan and work together toward creating a more prepared society. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Here to receive the proclamation, Tony? You want to say something or just receive it?
I can say something.
Oh, my God, I shouldn't have done
Real quick.
this. Okay, fine.
Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, thank you for this proclamation. As you know, we deal with many things in Yuma County. Unfortunately, we're not dealing with Dorian in Florida and Georgia, but we deal with heat warnings every summer. We deal with earthquakes, rain, flooding issues, and high winds in Yuma County. Those are just some of the things that we deal with that are natural disasters. And then we have some of the man-made things. We could have some type of hazardous spill, things like that. And then human cause, what we talk about, like a terrorist incident. We're very fortunate that not only Yuma County Emergency Management, also Public Health, we formed that partnership many years ago, and it's been very successful in ensuring that the sickness part of it, the mitigations of vaccinations, things like that, that we do things together and work as partners. We can't do a lot of that because there's a group of 5 of us, so we rely on not only our other county employees and our other county non-government organization, but also our volunteers. And today we have with us our ham radio operators and our community emergency response team, just a sample of them. Like you said, people can be better prepared by using the websites ready.gov and listo.gov. Those have plans in them for the community members that are watching that they can take some type of action and develop a 72-hour kit and have some type of emergency response plan for themselves and their families and their neighborhoods. So with that, I thank you, and be willing to do our photos shoot with you. Already, man. Come on up.
Okay,
Pick
guys.
up the whole
Why
room.
would he be willing to? Oh, this is gonna take a wide angle photo. Yeah.
But you're in front. You guys are.
In the middle.
Hello, guys. Hi. How are you?
This is gonna be one of those where we do the sideways thing.
Oh, yeah.
Fit.
Can you get us all in there? Okay.
Fortunately, Supervisor McLeod's on the other side. All right, thanks. Thank you, everybody. Great work you guys do.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
20.
Take care.
Get this. Thank you very much. And we also have another proclamation. This one will proclaim September 2019 as Library Card Sign-Up Month in Yuma County. And Supervisor Pancrase will handle this.
I'm gonna wait till the.
Until they settle?
Yeah, till we get a little bit. Yeah. All our volunteers.
It gives a chance to everybody else to sit.
Yeah.
And remember, this is not like school. You can sit in the front. We won't call.
Proclaiming the month of September 2019 as Library Card Sign-Up Month. Whereas a library card is the most important school supplies of all, and whereas signing up for a library card is the first step toward academic achievement and lifelong learning, and whereas libraries play an important role in the education and development of children, And whereas library programs serve students of all ages, from early literacy to homework help to GED classes. And whereas libraries bridge the digital divide by providing a full range of information and services to children and adult learners. Therefore, I, Marco A. Tony Reyes, Chairman of the Yuma County Board of Supervisors, proclaim the month of September 2019 to be Library Card Sign-Up Month and encourage everyone to sign up for their own library card today.
Thank you very much, Lynn. Sarah, are you accustomed to public speaking? Do you want to say anything?
Sure.
And I'm surprised that proclamation was very succinct. We expected a longer one.
Just down to the facts. Well, as you know, we just launched an app for our library earlier this month, and we'd like to let everybody know it's available at no charge on the Google Play and the Apple Store, and it is a terrific mobile-friendly version of our website. It makes a lot of those resources for homework help and research more accessible for people who, wherever they are on their phone, wherever they have an internet connection, they can still use their library. So we just want to let everybody know about that, and thank you for your continued support.
You're welcome.
I got one more comment.
One more comment.
Another very successful program you put forward in the last year was the safety guides for small businesses to use for their safety programming and planning in their businesses. It's a great program, very professionally done, and allows people that really didn't know how to do it right to do that type of safety training for their small businesses at little to no cost and in a very effective way. So I really commend you for that.
Thank you.
So thanks so much.
Who gets the proclamation? All right.
I didn't forget it there.
I'll stay on this side because I'm a little concerned. Very professional. 2 shots, that's it. Right, there's 2 more proclamations. I have the same honored guest here to pick them up, so I'm going to read both of them and then give you both of them at the same time. We have with us Jose Antonio Larios, who is the Mexican consul based in Yuma, Arizona, and he's here to pick up the 2 proclamations that I'm going to read. We do have somebody else with him, and we'll allow him to introduce her when he has a chance to go to the podium. The first proclamation that I'm going to read is the Yuma County Hispanic Heritage Month. It goes this way. Whereas on August 17, 1988, Public Law 100-402 authorized President Reagan to establish September 15 to October 15th as a National Hispanic Heritage Month. And whereas the National Hispanic Heritage Month is an opportunity to celebrate a legacy of traditions, rich culture, and honor the significant achievements of our Hispanic and Latino American communities. And whereas Hispanics are the largest ethnic minority group in the country and make valuable contributions to the community in business, industry, government, education, the sciences, arts, and faith. And whereas Hispanics have served with distinctions in military conflicts since the Revolutionary War and continue to defend our country today as members of the armed forces. These brave men and women bring us honor, and we're grateful for their service and sacrifice. Whereas I think the respective background of Hispanic and Latino Americans are an integral part of Yuma County. They have made enormous contributions to our diverse society by sharing their talents, their culture, their traditions, and their deep connection to family values. So now, therefore, I, Marco Antonio Tony Reyes, Chairman of the Yuma County Board of Supervisors, hereby proclaim the month of September 15 to October 15, 2019, to be Yuma County Hispanic Heritage Month. In witness whereof I have I've hereunto set my hand and affixed the official seal of the Board of Supervisors. This is done in Yuma County, at Yuma, the county seat, this 4th day of September 2019. This will be the first one, and we'll just read the second one, which I think is probably even more important to Council Larios. And this is This is a proclamation proclaiming the day of September 16, 2019 as Mexican Independence Day in Yuma County. Whereas on September 16, 1810, Father Miguel Hidalgo gave the memorable Grito de Dolores speech in Dolores, Mexico, which marked the beginning of a long journey towards independence. This day is celebrated as Mexican Independence Day. And whereas on August 24, 1821, the Treaty of Cordova was signed, giving birth to a new and independent nation led by Agustin de Iturbide, who was appointed after leading the victorious Trigarante army into Mexico City. And whereas Yuma County has a historic relationship with Mexico based on a strong social, cultural, and economic ties, and whereas this family-friendly and civic celebration is designed to educate the border community about Mexican history, empower and serve as a link between the Mexican community and local nonprofit organizations and services, and whereas the Mexican community, as part of the growing Hispanic population in the county, is an important and active participant in Yuma society, culture, and economy. And whereas Mexican Independence Day is a day for Yuma citizens of Mexican heritage to celebrate their culture by honoring the rich history, industriousness, and spirit of Mexicans. Now, therefore, I, Marco A. Tony Reyes, Chairman of the Yuma County Board of Supervisors, hereby proclaim the day of September 16, 2019 to be Mexican Independence Day in Yuma County. And to receive the proclamation, we have the council, Jose Antonio Larios, who represents the Mexican government and their affairs in this country. Council Larios.
Well, just a few words. Thank you very much. I am very honored to receive this distinction, this recognition, not just for the Mon of Latino community or the Hispanic community, but also, in my case, more importantly, because the Yuma County is recognizing September 15 as the National Day of Mexico. In that regard, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for this distinction. And also because it's recognizing the contribution of the Mexican and the Mexican-American community to this society. And finally, invite you to the celebration of the September 15 in this coming September 15 in the Yuma Civic Center at 6 p.m. We will be waiting for you, and we will celebrate the National Day of Mexico. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dos es todo. Muchas gracias. No las presenté. Again, thank you very much. And just in case you missed it, there was also an invitation to attend. It's at the Yuma Civic Center, September the 15th, that afternoon, and it will be a celebration of Mexican Independence Day. With a very nice program. All right, that was a free spot right there. Thank you very much. That takes care of the proclamation and presentations and proclamations. We will now move on to the consent calendar, which is where the following items are listed under the consent agenda and will be considered as a group and acted upon by one motion with no separate discussion unless a board member so requests. In that event, the item will be removed from the consent calendar for separate discussion and action. There are items 1 through 15. I've been asked to pull item 12 from engineering because they want to discuss the amount. So I'll pull item 12. Is there any other items that the members of the board would like to pull? You know, we haven't asked whether Mr. Supervisor Simmons is still listening to us because he put himself on mute. So are you still there?
I'm going to bring that up.
Okay, good.
I'm still here.
All right, good. Good. He's still there. Okay, so other than 12, are there any other items to be pulled?
There was one to have a question on. I don't know that we need to
You probably need to
pull
pull
it.
it.
Liquor
you have a
license for
It was on
Icon.
number 5. It's this note that we have from Pat Headington, that
Mm-hmm.
the trash dumpsters needs to be moved. I think that's more a note to them, not to us, right? Okay.
Well,
I got what I wanted.
okay. All right.
Move on.
All right, well, then item number 12, is there any other items to be pulled? If not, then I'll entertain a motion to approve consent calendar item 1 through 15 with the exception of item number 12.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Is there motion and second to approve items 1 through 15 with the exception of number 12? All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
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 There you go. All right, anybody opposed? Motion carries. That approves items 1 through 15 with the exception of 12. Item 12, engineering. It's to award the construction contract for the Ship Seal Program, Fall 2019, the Yuma and Mohawk District Ship Seal Project, and to Cactus Asphalt. Hey, that's misspelled probably, but in the amount of $1,699,800 and authorize the county engineer to sign the construction contract. Go ahead.
Good morning, Chairman Reyes, members of the board. The reason we asked for this item to be pulled was on the recommended motion, we incorrectly identified the contract amount. The contract amount is actually $1,639,464 with 84 cents. So it's a little bit of good news. It's actually lower than what we stated on the recommended motion. So.
Okay, now that, with that change in mind, are there any comments or questions from the members of the board?
No, at least it went the right direction.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so
Did
then
you write that number down?
$1,639,464 and some cents.
84 cents.
84 cents. Okay, so the motion is going to be to award the construction contract for the Chip Seal Program fiscal year 2019 Yuma and Mohawk District Chip Seal Project to Cactus Asphalt in the amount of $1,639,464.84 and authorize the county engineer to sign the construction contract. Correct?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motion and second to go ahead and approve item number 12 as presented, or not as presented, but as amended. Any discussion? If no discussion, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
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 Right. And before everybody else leaves, I just want to tell you, we appreciate you coming because we never know when there's going to be a question on this consent items. So thank you very much for showing up and you're lucky nothing else happened.
Good luck.
Good luck. Thank you for coming over
Thank you.
on a Wednesday.
Mr. Chairman, you need to complete the vote for any nays and confirm.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Is there any A on the house here? I waited to hear Supervisor Simmons' aye, and I think I missed the fact that I didn't call for a nay vote, but, are there any nays on
I
that?
was an aye.
Yeah, no, I know you were an aye. No aye, no nays. All those against? None. Okay, motion carries. All right, after that correction, the next item for discussion is discussion and an action item. The board will open each of the following items separately for discussion and action as appropriate in its county administration. Discussion and possible action regarding the following legislative items. It would be an update regarding any legislative proposals related to CSA Summit and the 2020 state legislative session, and to update regarding strategies relating to federal legislative priorities. There may be handouts, but no dreaded PowerPoint presentation in this.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Paul Melcher, Director of Economic Development and Intergovernmental Affairs. I have a couple updates for you this morning. I just wanted to let you know that the USMCA is gaining traction again. Governor Ducey and Sonoran Governor Claudia Pavlovich released a joint letter urging passage of the USMCA, and the Arizona Commerce Authority launched an informational website featuring information related to the state of Arizona and what the impacts are of the USMCA regarding trade with both Mexico and Canada. There's been an increase in activity related to the USMCA because Congress will be back in session. There's going to be another last push. As we've discussed in the past, when Yuma County sent out its letters of support, the real critical aspect of it is coming up the Canadian elections. Already we were talking back April, May, June. September's upon us. Canadian elections will take place in October. So we're thinking it's very critical to get this passed before the elections take place because Any changes to the USMCA will push it back in terms of ratification. Ratification is occurring through Mexico, so that's what we're really pushing for, is to get everything ratified before October. An update for supervisors, and particularly for Supervisor Simmons. We've been waiting on the BLM land use planning document to come out and be released. It still has not been released, but I've worked out a system with the director for BLM. They'll give us a notice when it's been released. It's still about 2 to 3 months behind schedule, so that's why they're going to send out a special notice for that. Of particular notice for that planning document will be the wild burro and horse management piece, and I know that the board has paid particular attention to that in the past, so we want to make sure that we don't miss out on an opportunity to comment there. An update on the Arizona Peace Trail. We've worked out in general the alignment. The Bureau is still working on finalizing a proposed alignment for comment. However, the good news is that the Arizona State Parks Department has taken notice of the Peace Trail, and we're going to have a meeting coming up, hopefully to have that discussion about how the Peace Trail can be incorporated as part of the park system, so that it would take the impetus off of the local jurisdictions to try to provide support, grants, get trailheads going to that effect. Mr. Chairman, that concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions that the board might have.
Well, I don't know about the board having any questions. That sounded too much like the Village People YMCA, but it's okay.
I do have a question.
Yeah, me too.
Paul, I wasn't clear. Has the agreement been ratified in Canada? Mexico, it has been.
No, Canada hasn't yet
I didn't think so.
Yeah, that's what he mentioned, that
Yeah,
the
that's
elections
why
are coming up.
if Canada could get that ratified before the elections would be of great benefit, because then it would only leave the United States, and we don't have the same time constraint. Of course, we'll have the 2020 presidential cycle coming up in no time, but at least it would give us, with having both Mexico and Canada ratified the agreement, that would help move it forward through our Congress too.
Is there any sign of movement in their legislative body?
I haven't heard anything about movement through Canada. Most of the news has been coming out of Mexico.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's probably going to get locked up in the differences between Congress, between the House and the Senate. Obviously there are some concerns in the House regarding some of the implementation issues. What can we do?
Mr. Chairman, at this point, we could send out another letter if you'd like, reaffirming our stance on ratification of the USMCA in its current form. If you'd like, I could present something in the next board for the board's signature. I think, continued discussions at the federal level with the, local representatives, but all the Arizona legislative contingent would be helpful.
How about basically trying to pinpoint what the issues are with our representatives? It'd be nice to know what Congressman Grijalva, what he believes are the issues, what Congressman Gozar, what he believes are the issues, so that we may be able to help in addressing some of those concerns. Obviously, if it passes Congress, the likelihood of it passing the Senate is very high. But it seems to me like it's stuck in Congress, and we have a very special situation here where we have, representatives of the House that are basically polar opposites of the issues, most of these issues anyway. But so we sort of I think we need to pinpoint where the holdup is, if there's a holdup, with our representatives in Congress, and see if we can help break that up, break that resistance.
Help them find it.
Yeah, help them find a compromise of sorts. Maybe making them understand that although it's a national issue, it's of utmost importance for border communities like ours, or border counties like ours. Right. Thank you.
We're really counting on its passage, because that foreign direct investment is very important to our region, and considering that Mexico has also made that a priority for the northern border, would help to get the agreement ratified.
Well, with this uncertain times, with the world economy, at the stage it's in, with all the issues that surround almost every decision with the economy, sort of teetering between, it's just volatile. And I think that the more agreements that there are in place, that solidify the relationship, the better off we'll be, no matter, when. soon as possible. All right, anything else? Are you at all giving us any update, or are you preparing an update on the CSA Legislative Summit coming up?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, once the final items are released, I know there was still some discussion about some of the topics, then I'll be presenting that for the board for discussion prior to the retreat to formally discuss all of the items.
Do we have anything to present on the agricultural exemption for the chicken farmer from Maricopa County? No, don't even mention that.
Yeah. I'll just let that one lie, so to speak.
Paul made sure that one was dead.
All right, Paul, thank you very much.
You're
I have no other questions.
No, actually, Paul brought back an accurate report of why it's dead, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
No sense
All right.
banging the head on the wall.
The next item is for planning and zoning. It's in the planning and zoning agenda, and it's an expedited rezoning and public hearing. These items will be open as a group for public hearing and acted upon by one motion to adopt the recommendations of the Planning and Zoning Commission, except for any item that is removed by a board member for separate consideration. That item will be discussed and acted upon separately following action on expedited items. We have one item, which is development planning, the Development Services and Planning and Zoning Division. It's a special use permit case number 1904 from AG Network Solutions, agent for the Robert and Patricia Callahan Trust, requesting a special use permit per section 601.03Y of the Yuma County zoning ordinance to allow a wireless communication facility on a parcel 5 gross acres in size zone, rural area, 5 acre minimum. Assessors parcel number 754-32-010, located at 16880 South Avenue A, Somerton, Arizona, located within the 6569 dB noise zone. I would probably need to tell Supervisor Simmons to mute his phone again.
I'm still on phone.
All right, thanks. Hey, this is an expedited rezoning, so it's up to the board whether we just whether they want to discuss it or simply, have a motion to adopt the recommendation.
Looks like everybody's in favor.
Yeah, I mean, if it was opposition, we would know by now. So, okay, then I'll entertain a motion to, do you need a public hearing on it? Yeah, sorry, I forgot. It is public hearing. So even though it's an expedited rezoning, we do have to open it to the public. I'm opening item number, special use permit case number 1904 to the public. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address the board on this item? If not, then we'll move back into the board's jurisdiction. Is there a motion on the board to approve special case use permit number 1904 as presented?
Oh, so moved.
Is there a second? The motion and second to approve item special use permit case number 1904 as presented, as recommended by the Planning and Zoning Commission. Any discussion? I guess there wouldn't be any if we have an expedited process here, but all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
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 All right. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. The last item in the agenda is the event calendar. Current events, board members and county administration will report on and may discuss events attended or to be attended on behalf of the county. They may present a brief summary of current events or may update the schedule for future Board of Supervisors meeting as appropriate. No legal action will be taken pursuant to Arizona revised statutes. Supervisor Pancrase, would you care to report?
Sure. I attended drug court graduation out at the Church of the City. Those are always so moving and so rewarding. So many people. First of all, Yuma has one of the highest rates of non-recidivism from our drug court. Our drug court graduations from our and so many people's lives are changed, and their ability to move on with their lives and become productive citizens is amazing. It always makes me cry. I can't stay and visit with people afterwards because I've already cried too much and my makeup's under my eyeballs. So,
Isn't the before and after amazing?
The before and afters are always amazing, and it's changing lives, not only theirs but their families. So,
I just want to say something before you leave that subject. When Superior Court Judge Tom Cole, because, you know, remember, he was very instrumental in getting that going. It was a struggle to we were involved in a lot of expenses and, you know, and much time. And I remember him, you know, just bringing up the fort that, you know, they would all volunteer the time and they would do all these things to make it happen. And now it's become so common that we think of it as just part of the system.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like that.
No, and it-
just because of the effort of people like Judge Cole, that things like this get to happen, and it's really nice to see him. I've attended a few of them, and it's incredible the damage that drugs can bear on families, but it's also very rewarding to see how people can come out of that and actually make it a positive in their lives, which is very difficult for me to see. But, you know, it's an experience.
Yeah, and some of them are even, Aaron, I keep hearing your walkie-talkie. Their first introduction into drugs was with a prescription drug.
Most of the time, the opioids.
And
Oh,
yeah,
often,
the
sure.
opioids. And that was the case at one of these folks here. It was a good graduation. I also attended the silver medal presentation for Garvey Blackwell, and I was reminded by her mother, and I kept thinking while I was sitting there, I know her, and Lisa, but it turned out that when Garvey was 11, I was a representative, and she was doing a project of setting up these little library stands out in the foothills during the
book-
summertime. The book exchange,
I
yeah.
remember that.
And I met with her and donated several library books or books that I'd had in my classroom for her exchange. And so now she's 16 and look what she's doing. So, and she decided she's going to be a librarian, and I told her she needs to be in the Library of Congress. So, and Congressman Gosar did a very good job of doing that presentation. And I also attended the annual hazmat tabletop exercises, and I'm always amazed at how prepared we are in our community for unfortunate incidents that may occur, like like what the tabletop I was on was a chlorine leak at one of our facilities, and how we would deal with it, and who would be notified, and how we would get it all done. And one of the young men, or I considered them young, was a young man who was my junior high aide when he was in the 8th grade. So,
And then what did you learn about the Board of Supervisors, what their job is?
to say yes, whatever they need to get it done, to get it fixed,
What I
and to
learned
get it
was
done.
that we sit in the corner and stay out of the way.
Yeah, well, and
Which is
yes,
pretty much, right?
yes, we
Until
give them
there's that kind of
money
decision.
and approval to be able to get whatever needs to be done to make sure that the least number of folks are affected.
Don't be trying to help the first responders.
Oh, I've learned that. I've been to several of these now, and I'm going, oh, I
It's
don't.
funny.
Oh, those people that are in charge have way, way, way big responsibilities.
Mhm.
So anyway, and so the other thing, I attended my Hospice of Yuma board meeting, and the thrift store over on 8th Avenue is getting a facelift, so it'll be back open in time for all our winter folks to be here. So anyway, and that's it.
I get those chlorine leaks in my pool all the time, but.
Oh,
it's an
and I
emergency
remember,
for me.
I remember having to change chlorine tanks when I managed Kennedy Pool.
Oh, those are
You know,
dangerous
and you
things.
used a little squirter bottle.
I'm super-
I mean, that was years
You know,
ago.
I go back to the.
To check for leaks,
I go back to the times where we worried about ammonia leaks.
Yeah.
Because ammonia was so
Uh-huh.
widely used
Mhm.
to cool, for cooling purposes. And
For cooling
you know, that kind of dates me way back out there. I better stop talking, because then I'm
No.
gonna
Well, me
admit that I
too.
was present during the pyramids or something.
Oh,
Construction.
don't worry, your appearance.
Anyway, you're next, and you be careful.
You're not far behind
I
us.
figured I'd get that. I too attended the presentation by Congressman Gosar, the silver medal presentation to Garvey Blackwell. And, you know, it's great to see there are these young people who too often just hear the bad stuff. And there's a lot of good things going on. Also attended the Yuma 50 board meeting with Kirsten Cinema.
I did too. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I
thought
missed
so.
that. Yes.
And so just carrying that message that, we're open and ready for business. And so we certainly want to work with them to make sure the military has a long and successful presence here.
We missed John McCain.
And probably the most important thing that I did was joined with my son Jeff in the Bolio tournament. And we took the Mary McLeod Memorial Trophy back from San Luis. And it now resides with Foothills Rotary.
Good.
That was a lot of fun.
San Luis is celebrating the 40th anniversary. You messed it up.
At least for their Rotary Club.
Anyway, Supervisor Simmons, you have anything?
No, just sorry about that earlier. I had 2 radios going, and I was trying to get into the VFW parking lot at Salt Lake.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It makes for a better, more exciting morning.
Yes.
It's kind of a slow morning, being that it's a Wednesday.
But no, I don't have anything other than the fact that the bypass road out at Castle Dome is open.
Oh,
yeah.
That was opened up. That opened up right before hunting season.
Yeah,
Good for you.
Well done,
Good
Darren.
for you, Darren.
Good.
So that's open. We still got a few things to work out, but it'll be open for everybody to use this fall and winter.
There were some who said it wouldn't happen, so
Yeah.
I know it wasn't without a lot of diligence.
Thank you very much, Supervisor Simmons. And me, I want to, not, curse on the short meetings. Sometimes, we kind of extend them a little bit, but there's a couple of things I want to talk about. First of all, we do want to send our congratulations to the city of San Luis for the 40th anniversary celebration. They're 40 this year, and they're celebrating. I did a little spot on behalf of Yuma County, congratulating them on their growth and telling them that we're ready to help them in their next 40-year growth. And I think that I honestly believe that San Luis will at one point in time become even bigger than Yuma. Considering the pace of growth that they're experiencing and the location and the fact that they really have no physical barriers for growth other than agriculture. But that's something that's really something to see. And so anyway, that's one of the things. And the second one I already forgot. That's kind of sounding
Can I make a comment as a
they
former
shouldn't take that long to bring them out.
As a former representative and senator that represented San Luis, people are unaware of what a thriving, wonderful little community it is, and it's not so little anymore. It's over 30,000.
As a former mayor and as a former elected official over there, we do have a saying that in San Luis politics is a contact sport. And there's a reason for that. Small communities like that, people get really on one side of the issue and they go at it. I'm really happy to say that over the last few years that hasn't been the case, but every once in a while there's a flare up. And so hopefully, people over there understand that for growth to happen in an orderly manner, everybody doesn't have to agree to everything, but people need to move on. So,
but the people are so wonderful. That's what I.
Yeah, people are great out there. So anyway, that would be it. I think that I was out in New Orleans a week or so, so I guess that must have had an impact on my ability to recall issues at times. So I'll wait until next meeting. So I did forget to mention the fact that we do not have Susan Thorpe with us. We have Mr. Villegas.
Gilbert Villegas.
Yeah, I should say that better than most people. Villegas, Gil Villegas. No?
Thank you.
Who is now serving as our acting administrator. So what would you like to report?
Very happy to be serving in this capacity, so thank you for the opportunity. And actually, I don't have anything to report this morning.
All right. Then, is there anyone else? The call to the public is open. I'm going to close it by saying that if there is nothing else for us to do this morning, this is it. Thank you very much for your patience.
All right.